robbers.
Say onye me bani tamfo a na wo bisa ne se me bani ye langada obeka chiro say ye nokore.
They're lying. Unless you hate my son, you wouldn't say he's a land guard.
Also this morning, former secretary of the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Charles Bisu, says he will avail himself to the OSP of ongoing investigation into corruption and its related activities after a warrant for his arrest was made public, having failed to show up.
It was just a misunderstanding, and I think you shouldn't have gotten to this with your photograph out there as a wanted person, as if you have fugitives. So I will avail myself.
Also this morning, opposition NDC questions basis of latest Supreme Court suit challenging the eligibility of former President John Mahama to contest for the 2024 general elections.
Absolutely nothing prevents the former president from contesting in the 2024 elections. This suit is diversionary.
And much later, Council of State member Sam Okujeto rubbishes calls for the dissolution of the council, describing the demand as one born out of ignorance. We have details if you stay with us for the next 10 minutes. Pleasure that you could be a part of us this morning. It's streaming live on Facebook. Our handles 3FM927. I am Eric Mawuena Egbeta. Let's get into the details. And the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament has been tasked to investigate the alleged police killing at Botiano here in Accra. The decision comes after MPs became the latest to add their voice to growing demands for a thorough independent probe into the alleged killing at Botiano. According to the police, the said individuals died during the shootout as part of efforts to clamp down on the activities of armed robbers and land guards in the area. That account, however, has been challenged by families of the victims. Judith Otritando was at a family house and reports.
The incident has come as a shock to many in the Botiana community. A visit to the family of two of the victims tells a different story.
Omokasa eyentro obie ni ho a se onye me bani tamfo a na wo bisa ne se me bani ye langada obeka chiro say ye nokore.
They're lying. Unless you hate my son, you wouldn't say he's a land guard. At the residence of the late Augustine Nikwe, who was a family head, many had gathered.
Well, on Tuesday, the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Andrea Mwakwesiama, asked the Defense and Interior Committee to conduct an investigation into the killing after Member of Parliament for the area, Sylvester Tete, and other lawmakers made a request to the House to look into the matter. Here is the MP on the floor of the House.
This is a clear indication from me that I don't agree with the 1992.
And we'll hear from the NP if you stay with us here on 3FM. Let's take a listen to him now.
Speaker, we acknowledge rampant land guard activities in and around the area and constant harassment of residents and builders alike. However, reports from the family, friends, and those with knowledge of these individuals have refuted the police allegation that these men were involved in land guard activities. On behalf of my constituents, we are calling on Parliament to institute an inquiry into the matter because the chiefs and people of Botiano and Kokrobite have rejected the claim by the police.
That's Sylvester Tete. He is MP for the area and was staying with investigations, and I will honor the invitation by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. That's the response of former Secretary to the dissolved Inter-Ministerial Committee on Legal Mining, Charles Bisu, after the OSP declared him wanted of ongoing investigation into corruption and its related activities. Charles Bisu had refused to meet with the OSP over allegations of use of public office for profit during his tenure as secretary to the committee. Speaking to 3FM, however, Mr. Bisu said the meeting will afford him the opportunity to redeem himself.
In the jurisdiction I am in Ghana, I haven't been anywhere, I have nowhere to go, this is my country. It was just a misunderstanding, and I think you shouldn't have gotten to this with your photograph out there as a wanted person, as if you are fugitive or criminal. I mean, I know that in our society, once you're even invited to the police station, immediately you're a criminal. But that's not the case. I have not been charged with anything. I'm going to go to the special prosecutor's office to give them information. What happened was that they wrote to me, and my lawyer wrote to back and said that I needed about a week more because I was actually not well. And then they declined that and said I should report at a certain date, which I couldn't.
That's the former secretary to the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Charles Pisu. We'll stay on matters relating to the court and the opposition National Democratic Congress. They've rubbished the latest Supreme Court suit challenging the eligibility of former President John Mahama to contest the 2024 general elections. Editor-in-chief of the Daily Searchlight newspaper, Ken Crunchy, is seeking interpretation of Articles 66 and 68(2) of the 1992 Constitution regarding former President Mahama's eligibility to seek re-election as president, having previously served a 4-year term in the same office. But Director of Legal at the NDC, Ibrahim Amaliba, says the suit against the former president is diversionary.
I must start by saying that nothing, absolutely nothing, prevents the former president from contesting in the 2024 elections. This suit is diversionary. It is an attempt to divert the attention of Ghanaians from the harsh economic realities. This suit does not disclose any course of action. Indeed, there's nothing in those articles that he has mentioned that says that a president who has served one term cannot come back and serve another term. And for me, this amounts to legal semantics that is meant to divert the attention of the people of this country. So as we speak now, the former president has not been served.
That's Director of Legal Affairs of the NDC, Ibrahim Amaliba, was staying with matters from the court because the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, says he does not agree with the provision of the 1992 Constitution which bars chiefs from participating in active politics. He argues that chiefs are the custodians of the land and thus there should be a possibility of creating space to allow chiefs, religious leaders and civil society organizations play active roles in the politics of the country. The remarks also follows a ruling by the Supreme Court affirming the provisions of the 1992 Constitution barring chiefs from participating in active politics. And the Speaker made the remarks when he paid a courtesy call on the King of Dagban, Yana Bukari II.
This is a clear indication from me that I don't agree with the 1992 Constitution on the prohibition of chiefs from politics. They use the term active politics. Whatever that means, the Supreme Court has struggled to explain it to us. And so I want us to look at the possibility of creating space for our chiefs, for our religious leaders, and for our civil society leaders to play active politics in the governance of this country. They can do it without being partisanship. And in any case, partisanship is not bad. That's why we accepted to do partisan politics.
That's the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin. And moving on, a member of the Council of State, Sam Okudzeto's rubbish calls for the abolition of the council, responding to critics of the council on the sidelines of an IEA event to review the 1992 Constitution. Mr. Okudzeto said the calls are born out of ignorance, and we'll get a lot more on exactly what he's been saying if you stay with us here on 3FM 92.7. But we end with the president, who says that government will continue to work towards keeping the lights on in spite of the global dynamics of energy pricing, because the alternative is not an option. Speaking at the commissioning of a 161 kilovolt Accra Central bulk supply point by Gridco, the president said the project will guarantee stable and reliable power for the busy Accra Central District.
Now with the operationalization of the Accra Central Bulk Supply Plant, power voltages have become stable, protecting valuable equipment. Power supply reliability has improved, and with this, efficiency has been restored, reducing system losses as required by the regulator. I want to reassure all of you that my government will continue to work towards keeping the lights on. In spite of the global dynamics of energy pricing, we are not going back to do so.
That's President Akufo-Addo ending this morning's edition of the news here on 3FM 92.7. As always, a lot more news if you log on to 3news.com. I am Eric Mawuena Egbeta.